Hi, it's Nancy Mader back again. Transition Tuesday. I am the Director of Transition Services for the Federation for Children with Special Needs. I'm, I'm sure you all are tired of our debacles here, but like this is all live and we are all human beings. So hopefully everyone can hear me now. And I'm sorry about that last one. Anyway, so it's Transition Tuesday. I'm going to talk about the independent living centers. Again, I think that they are a very well kept secret that shouldn't be a secret in our state. So independent living centers, there are 11 in the state of Massachusetts. They are private, nonprofit, consumer-controlled organizations that serve individuals with disabilities. So you can identify as someone with a disability and go in and receive a wealth of services from an independent living center. And what consumer controlled means is the majority of the staff who work at independent living centers identify as having a disability, which is really extraordinary because if you are a young person with a disability, you can go and receive services from someone who may have the same disability as you, may have had the same experiences growing up as you. And so it's a kind of a peer-to-peer model that I think is really beneficial for our young people. It's I think everyone kind of feels alone in the world, but I think our young people who have disabilities can kind of feel lonelier. And to have a peer mentor who, maybe had the same experience growing up as you, and then they're mentoring you and giving you inside information on how they got through everything, because being a teenager is hard for everyone. I think that's really special. So there are 11 independent living centers in our state, and they all have different services. So I will put up in our comments how to connect with the one in your area. And these are free services. So your young person could get peer-to-peer mentoring. They could get, help with self-advocacy. So there's something called the TAP program, the Transition to Adulthood program, which is a really, really great program. And they assist with learning how to budget money. So really it's consumer driven. So if you have a young person who goes to the independent living center, goes to the transition to adulthood program, and they want to learn something, your student drives their services, not you, not the parent, not the school. It is consumer driven. That person at the independent living center is going to look at your young person in the eye and say, what do you want to do? What do you want to learn? And then there's more buy-in there. So if they were hesitant about going in because you're telling them what they're going to learn, if it's, that person looking your young person in the eye and saying, what do you want to do? And listening to them, it's person to person. What do you want to do? And your young person's able to tell them, I want to learn to budget money. They're going to sit down and they're going to do, budgeting and talking about finances and all of these different things so that there's buy-in and they're learning something, and it's so awesome. They can help them get their driver's permit, go through that book. It's not always, they don't always want to just sit next to a parent and learn all this stuff, or a school teacher or a tutor. And if they can sit next to someone they see as a peer and learn how to look at that driver's manual and read it and maybe figure it out and take the test, they can learn how to navigate the bus system with someone who looks like them, with someone who's young, and helping them do all of these things. So they can help them apply for a job. They can help them put together their resume. So it's consumer driven. So whatever your young person wants to do, they can do that with the person at the independent living center. And again, they all do something different. So when I post the link, you can look at the regional center for you and what services they have and how you can engage your young person with that independent living center. And the idea around independent living centers that are supported by the Mass Rehab Commission is it's really important, and it's really actually much more financially feasible for people to live independently in their community than in an institution or somewhere else. So that was the idea behind the independent living movement. And so they can support your young person maybe with learning assistive technology, learning what accommodations they need. So I just really encourage everyone to research the independent living center near you. And I'm flustered from my whole debacle this morning, or at the beginning of this. So learn about it, find out what services they have, and then connect your young person to those services. They might have youth groups that they can join. They might have, a lot of the stuff right now, obviously, is going to be via virtual, but that might be okay. That might be like they're an easy segue for them to connecting with, peers in your region. Virtual might be the easiest way. And then when we're able to be together again, when things are safe again, they can be in that youth group with those other young people and already know them, or already be comfortable with their peer mentor, or if they're in the transition to adulthood program, there's so many different things that they could be doing. And then they also just serve youth who aren't transition age. They have youth services that don't, that serve young people below 21, but there's not an age requirement there. So if you have someone who's not quite transition age, maybe someone who's 11 or 12 who might want to get involved with their independent living center, they do other things there. So they can start doing self-advocacy work a little bit earlier, which I'm constantly encouraging. They can learn about their accommodations. They can learn how to speak for themselves. These young people who are engaged with their independent living center are oftentimes really aware of the laws that are coming through our state and nationally. They do advocacy at the state house. They have a better understanding of what they need to be doing and thinking about to make their lives better, which is really important, because we're not always going to be here. So if we can start talking to our young people about that and they can get involved in that, it is a much stronger story. It is a much stronger piece of advocacy if it's coming from our young folks who have disabilities. It's much more compelling for them to listen to young people than to me, who is just constantly talking at you. So I encourage you, please check out the independent living centers. I will put the links to everything in the comments. And I also encourage you to look at the history of independent living centers, because it's really extraordinary. The advocacy that went into this and the courage that the founders of these centers and this movement took, I think would be really interesting for your young people to learn about. And I think that it's really important right now with what's going on in our country, because standing up for ourselves and their selves is really powerful, and it's just something that they're probably going to have to do their whole life. So check out the history of the independent living centers, and thank you all for listening. Again, the Federation is open. Please reach out to us. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. I am around and we're here to help. And I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks so much.